Fanspeak, where the plan runs deep. The team grind hard, don't eat, don't sleep. From best ball dreams to DFS streaks, they help you print money every single week. Fanspeak. No cap, no gimmicks, we breaking limits. NFL bets, yeah, we live this business. Megan Steve, that OG vision. Draft room killers on a lifelong mission. More stress to the Sunday spread. Fanspeak's that voice that's inside your head. Best ball, DFS, NFL bets. They built it brick by brick, no regrets. Fanspeak team, printing money since day one. Fanspeak, forever.
Welcome back to the Fanspeak Network. And this is a very special show because we have never done a show like this. We have not done, I don't believe, any PGA on this channel, any PGA Best Ball on this channel. And I'm, of course, joined by Chris the Candyman from Fantasy Football Garage. Check out his link in the description if you're watching this and either live or on replay. And for some reason you're not following him, you have got to be following his channel because he does both NFL and PGA Best Ball. Chris, how are you doing tonight? I'm so excited to draft some golf with you.
I'm doing excellent, Meg. Thank you for having me. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. You know, I realized last minute, it's like, I need to get a whiskey to have with Chris, and I totally forgot. So we'll have did you get yours? I have to ask.
No, I can get one, but I did just pour a Guinness. Okay.
No. We'll save that for another time. You know, the last time we drafted together, we both had whiskey. And by the way, we have a good track record together because we drafted Friends of Best Ball this summer and our team went to the playoffs. But as we know, BBM is pretty tough, you know, 1 of 13, 1 of 16. We did not see, and I don't think we had Kyle Pitts. So we did not move on. But I thought we had a banger of a team, and we did make the playoffs together. So, Chris, we got to keep that streak alive, you know.
Oh, we will, because we're drafting PGA Best Ball tonight. And this is peak right now. This is the best time to be drafting PGA Best Ball for the majors only, the Albatross. It is... You know, we just had the cut down at the Texas Children's Houston Open, which is played at Memorial Park, which is my home golf course just down the road. And
have you played there? Literally?
That's where I go. I go.
That's literally where you play, because it's a course that. Yeah. Okay.
That's awesome. Golf course. It's a municipal. It's beautifully done. They redid it back in 2019. I love their driving range. I love their putting greens. That's at my practice facility. You can get a bucket of balls for $7, hit 100 balls. It's fine. It's honestly not bad. And then the parking is either free or very cheap. They've got it's a good setup, and the course is hard. I've never broken 90 there, and I'm not a great golfer. But
I was gonna say, how good of a golfer are we talking?
No, I'm not a very good golfer. I don't consider myself having a handicap because I just don't play enough.
Okay,
but I you know, if I'm on a course and I can break 90, I'm very happy. And maybe it's not the hardest course, but it is a very challenging course. There's a lot of fun par threes out there. You might see the guys, you know, this weekend playing hole number 2. That's a fun par 3 that you can, if you're really good, you can try to get a hole in one and go for it. For me, I'm just trying to get out of like the hazard. There's like creeks, and then there's some bodies of water that go through. Hole 15 is what they call like the stadium hole this time, and they have like a wraparound stands set up. It's really fun. When I went on Friday last year, I sat up there and just watched group after group come through on hole 15 and try to get close. The green is like mounted. It's super high. So if you miss, you're just going to roll off forever. So one thing.
Okay, I think I saw that. Was that the one Brooks struggled with, I guess?
Yeah, plenty. Everyone struggles on that if you don't nail the green. The green's pretty big. But on these greens, they're hard to hit if you slightly miss. And so golfers who are above average or do well around the green really excel here. And that's why we saw, I think, and guys who can bomb it, guys who can drive long.
I thought it was like Bomber's Paradise too. Right?
Bomber's Paradise and killers around the green, which is exactly how I describe, you know, Dr. Chapinski, you know, Minwoo Lee, let him cook chef. And he's an excellent around the green guy with his chipping skills. And he also is a bomber. So he won here last year. He's doing very well right now.
I know he went like -8 today or something like that.
Yeah. He's T4 right now. And so anyway, so it's a super fun course. There's not a whole lot of hazardous area. You can land in the rough and recover pretty well. So guys will bomb it off the tee, which works for me because my driving accuracy is one of my weakest parts of my game. It's a beautiful course. It's a fun course. They renovated it. Brooks Koepka was actually on the team that helped renovate it back in.
That's what was that like before COVID, like 19, 18, 19? Okay. I thought that.
And
you
right
are
now,
going
it's set up for the tournament. And then the ladies, the LPGA Tour has a major there, the Chevron Open, next month. So that's also really fun.
So you are going, and I need to get another Kong for Rudy because he's losing his mind right now. But you are going on Sunday for the finals.
Yes. Yeah, I'm going
round.
Sunday morning. We'll see if she wants to go, but I'm going to take my daughter if she's willing.
Oh my gosh, how old is she?
She's 3.
Oh my gosh.
Free for kids to get in under, like, I'm not even sure what age, but like she easily passes the bar. But if she wants, if she's feeling energetic, I'm going to bring her with me and I'll take her out there Sunday morning and we'll just kind of like do the fun things.
Yeah.
We're only going to last like an hour or two. And it's not even so much about, because Scotty withdrew and if Scotty was there on Sunday, I would stick around and I would want to follow him. I followed him on Friday last year. It was so fun.
That's what I thought I heard you say that on a show this week or recently.
Yes. Yeah. My dad and I went Friday last year. I took the day off work and we just got rained on all day. We sat out there in the rain and we had better weather this year. But no, anyways, it's a fun tournament. And the reason why this is the best time to draft the Albatross, well, it's about 50% filled.
Yeah, I was going to say we're about 50%, right?
It probably fills up pretty quick. It typically does fill up pretty quick at the end. People catch on. They think, oh, there's over. Let me jump in. Yeah. So there's a lot of less informed drafters jumping in there. The ADPs are a mess. There's a ton of bad picks at ADP. But the reason why it's a perfect time to draft the Albatross is because the OWGR, official world golf ranking, which determines your qualification.
I'm going to let you fill the people in on that while I get Rudy another Kong.
Perfect. Yeah, how about Rudy? I see his hand right there. So the OWGR is your gateway into qualifying for the Masters at Augusta, right? Which is in 2 weeks. But that the cutoff for that is at the end of the Houston Open, 1 week before. It's 2 weeks out, but it's the last cutoff. So all of the players in their finishing positions right now, the guys who are not in the Houston Open, they're either going to stay where they are or move back slightly. The guys who are in the Houston Open, it is the last chance you have to make it into the top 50 in the world so that you can qualify for the Masters if you're not already qualified. And there are a number of very interesting names who are either drafted 100% of the time or slightly, not always drafted, but late round guys who are super good targets for the Albatross. And we're getting so much more information this week on whether or not they are certainly going to be in the top 50. And so I have a list of 3 or 4 guys, and we have brand new information. And so this is the perfect time to be drafting. If you're getting in, we're going to know by Sunday night and Monday morning when it updates, like who's officially in at the Masters and who's out, because the Masters is the first leg. The Masters, you can think of that as weeks 1 through 14. Mm-hmm. It matters a ton. And I always think that obviously you want to have as best lineup as you can at the Masters. You really want to focus on guys who are also going to qualify for the US Open, because that gets you into the finals. That gets you into week 17, as we would compare it to the NFL. And then all that matters is week 17. All of the money is in the Open at Royal Birkdale. So we want to be able to, do well enough at the Masters to get out of our pod, one out of 6. And if you show up with 9 or 10 golfers who are qualified for the Masters, you're going to be short-handed a little bit. You're kind of handicapping yourself against the rest of your pod. And some people are still drafting that way. I come out of draft rooms. I think I can eyeball about 1 or 2 other drafters who aren't going to have 11 or 12 golfers at Augusta at the Masters. And it's like, it's not even that crazy that it's not like, oh, I'm not going to draft a guy because he's not playing Augusta, but he's going to play these other events.
Right.
It's like the bar is the highest to get into Augusta. So if they're in at Augusta, they're also most likely in the other events. And there's still plenty of time to further qualify after the contest closes for those other events like the Open or the US Open. So
I was going to say, because like Ricky Fowler obviously got cut, isn't going to be in the Masters. He's out, but he can still qualify. He could still qualify for the other ones, but he's got work to do, right?
He's got work to do. He's close enough. Ricky Fowler. He's a great name you bring up. He's currently on track to only qualify for the PGA. That's based on being top 100 in OWGR. He's not even guaranteed to be at the PGA, but just where he's at today, and he's cut. He cannot make the Masters. It's the first time he's missed it in a while.
Yeah,
but he's only qualified potentially to be in one of the 4 majors, and he's 100% drafted in Albatross. He's one of the worst picks on the board.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, so let me go over the format, say hi to chat, and then we'll get back to just like strategy.
Perfect.
Kind of looking at like, the eligibility like you were talking about, and then get into some of our picks before we then rip some live drafts. So as you can see, I brought it over, and Underdog's nice to telling you the advance rate. So like you said, the getting through the season, that's the Masters. That's 1 of 6 out of our pod. So we're drafting with 5 others, 1 of 6. We get moves on to the PGA Championship. PGA Championship is like quarterfinals in week 15. That's 1 out of 5. And then on to the semifinals. That's like week 16. That would be the US Open, 1 out of 5. And then that gets you to a 200 seat final, the Open. And then it's $50K up top. Pretty nice flat payout, 5K to 10th, then 500. And then, you make $500 if you make the finals, because it's the top 200 make the finals, and then 50K up top. So that would be a hell of a sweat. If you get a team to the finals, you can make anywhere from 500 to 50K, but just talk about making that final major, the Open, a big sweat. And so that's why well, let me say hi to chat first, and then I want to ask some strategy about tournaments that we have, because we know the Masters is always at Augusta, but the other ones are at different locations.
Oh, I'd love to get into that. I've got a lot of data on that, a lot of stuff I want to share. I would suggest we might just jump in. Because I've noticed sometimes it can take a little bit while to fill. So when I've been doing these on stream, I just kind of see where it's at.
Okay, we're waiting for one. That's totally fine.
That'll go pretty quick, actually, but they're not long drafts. We want to do more than one. So
yes. We're going to do a few. So yeah. But I love that Mike says, Meg decides to become a golf girl. Tiger Woods decides to pop pills and drive again. Some say they're correlated. The Tiger Woods news, like you said today, it's like the range of emotions you had when you're like, oh my God, I hope he's okay. Oh my God. Okay. I think everybody's okay. Thank God. But DUI. Oh my God, it's pills, not alcohol. It was just a wild turn of events. So
that was just very sad.
Very sad.
Thoughts and prayers for Tiger.
Let's take Tiger's keys away. It's like taking the keys away from, an 85-year-old or something. Let's just take the keys away. Not allowed to drive. Money thinks says, good news, Megs. We can draft Aaron Rodgers in the Albatross as well. He's really
in the player pool.
No way. Is he really?
Search it. I think we looked it up. I think he was in there last time we looked.
Oh my God. Why is he in the player pool?
Because he played in a pro-am a long time ago, and they have to fill out like some minimum number of IDs for the player pool. And so there's not 2,000 pro golfers in the world.
Okay. So we are on the clock. I assume you want to go Scotty with the number 1.
Yes.
We got a Scotty team. We got a Scotty team.
Honestly, in my heart of hearts, in my mind, you want to draft enough teams that you're getting exposure to Scotty Scheffler, because I honestly do believe the odds that having a Scotty Scheffler roster is the key to winning number 1 overall in the Albatross. I think it's somewhere between 30 and 50%.
Okay.
And if he's a first round pick, everything else even, it'd be around 17%. But I think it's 2 to 3 times as likely that you have to have Scotty to win this. So every time I get Scotty, I just am so thankful. And then I try to build out a nice roster, a nice, team with a different variation of players with Scotty that I might not have already.
That's a great point, because like, even if you think about it, with someone like, as long as it's not one of the top, because everybody's seen who's being drafted. So Scotty, Rory, Rahm, Schauffele, Fleetwood sometimes goes a little later. Probably will be Bryson here at the turn, and then some combination of, as you can see on the ADP, Aberg, Cam Young, who won the Players, Morikawa, and Fitzpatrick, who just won. So if it's not one of them, and say it's like, let's use Jordan Spieth as an example. Say Jordan wins his second green jacket. Say, say Bridgman wins the PGA. Say, another guy a little further down wins the US Open, and then say Justin Rose wins the Open. Because isn't that Royal Birkdale where he won it?
Spieth was the last one to win at Royal Birkdale.
Oh, okay. Oh, was he? Okay. I thought this was where Justin Rose, I couldn't remember where he won it. And by the way, Full Swing got me really into golf, and Justin Rose was on that, obviously. Spieth was on that. So we're about at the turn here, but and we'll get back to that. But I was thinking, like, if later guys go, but okay, let's look at this pick. So top of ADP is Hideki, Bobby McIntyre, Victor Hovland, Siwoo Kim, Chris Gotterup, who I thought would be playing better this week. Brooks, I've been pulling him up, but it's not looking as good now after the cut today. What do you think?
Let's start with Victor. Victor is one of my favorite golfers who has not won a major, that is, I think, the most likely to get his first major at some point. And we just want to be, we want those guys.
What do you think about pulling like a Justin Rose up, since he is good?
Yes.
Course
no,
fit?
I love Justin Rose. He's one of the best picks in this format.
Yeah.
I match him up with Scotty all the time because he will not come back around.
Because he won't come back around. Okay, that's what I was hoping you'd say. Because, like, yeah, you could make a case for like young Chris Gotterup getting a first major here,
or Akshay.
Yeah,
right. Maybe Kim is due. I like Bobby Mack. Maybe Bobby Mack can get his first major. Hideki, we know he's got a green jacket. He plays well, but Hideki has not been like the most impressive recently in the open setting. And so anyway, so all of that, but I do love this start. Yeah.
So I guess say Scotty doesn't. I guess what I was trying to say is, say Scotty doesn't win one of the majors this year, but he's what he's been doing. Like, he's top 5, he's top 10. Well, he's been like top 20. Like, it hasn't been, the form has been, it's not like it's bad, but it's been like shockingly not what we were used to, basically.
Oh, he's fine. He's fine. Don't worry at all.
Okay.
So here's what I'll throw out for you. Well, if Scotty does not win one major, then the only way he pays off is that no one else in the first round also
wins
a
major. That's what I mean. But that's what I mean is you still want to get the combos of the guys that then could win with Scotty.
Yes.
Because likely he could be getting like super high places. Like, say he comes 2nd in 1, 5th in 1, 10th in 1, right?
He most likely will, even if he doesn't win. You can't win this without having the person that wins the Open. So that's one more thing to consider. Week 17 is all that matters, because the winner of this event always has the guy who wins his major at the Open. And so we want guys who are strong.
Well, we know you said Jordan Spieth won there. He's my favorite golfer. He's my Cam Scattaboo of the PGA. And you're a Texas guy, and I know you love him too, correct?
Oh yeah. I took a marketing class, and the first day I went to that marketing class at Texas, the professor goes, "You guys see that seat right up there? That's where Jordan Spieth sat 2 semesters ago." And everyone's so proud of that. So like, I love Spieth. He's kind of like,
so we're going to take him. I'm just going to go ahead and say, you're probably going to get vibes.
Let's push him. No, let's push him. We'll get him. Let's push him though. Let's push him. We should go either Sepp, JT, or Bridgman. Bridgman is so hot right now. Go Bridgman first. Bridgman is the leader of the FedEx Cup points right now. The dude is...
I love getting Bridgman here. Wait, do you really think we're not going to get Spieth back? His ADP is isn't
36. It? Honestly, on this side of the board, we can pull him up. I don't have a problem with it at all. Let's pull up Spieth, because you're right. I mean, it's hard
his ADP is now 32, and I just don't see him coming back. So
no, it's totally fine. He's in this tier with these guys, and
I was going to say my Texas friend and the Spieth obsessed girl. Again, he's my Cam Scattaboo of the PGA, which says a lot about me. I think I like to live dangerously, Candyman. Like, it's like I like guys that ram their heads into the wall, or guys that are just taking me all over the golf course for a ride. You know what I mean?
No, I'm totally in on Spieth. He's one of my most highest exposures. I'm above 30%.
I think he's coming into form. I really do. Like, I'm not just being like delusional. It's just not all coming together in the same tournament, basically.
He's on track to be qualified for all 4 majors, and for about most of this drafting season was not qualified for the US Open, which is the last major he needs to complete his career Grand Slam. So it's nice that he's getting in there. I
thought it was the PGA that he needs for the Grand Slam.
US Open. Yeah, US Open.
Okay.
he is. Let me just run to Spieth real quick. So the thing about Jordan is he is one of the best open golfers of anyone in the tour right now. Over the last 5 years, so there's been 5 Opens.
Okay.
He has 4 top 25s, 2 top 10s, and 1 top 5. Also, the last time they played at Royal Birkdale for the Open, which was back in 2017, is the exact year that Jordan Spieth won it.
Right. Okay. I didn't know that's the last winner there was Spieth. I did not realize that.
The last time they played the Open there, Spieth won it. And obviously he was borderline top number 1 player in the world at that time. And things change, but the course history matters a ton in golf.
Right. Okay. So coming up here, we're almost back up. This one's flying pretty quick here. And I didn't even pay attention. I recognize the name FFB Wizard. I don't recognize any other names, but okay. So at the top, Spawn, Knapp, Gerard,
and D Miller. Shout out D Miller, channel member. We're fading Spawn. So scroll back up real quick. Who went? We're taking Knapp. Knapp is so hot right now. Knapp is the guy. He is one of the best putters in the world. He can get it done. He could win his first major. Even if he doesn't, we're already at the spot in the draft. We're not looking for major winners. We're looking for guys who can get top 10s in 1 or 2 events, and that is a ton of fantasy points. Another guy I love in this range, I really, really like Gerard. I like Alex Noren. I think either of those guys are smash picks. I kind of do like Noren.
I was taking Wyndham Clark.
I love Berger.
2 missed cuts in a row is rough.
Wyndham Clark is a little bit streaky. I like Berger. So do you have any leans on these 3 guys?
Are all 3 of these locked in for all 3?
Gerard is locked into 2 and should get into the Open and the PGA.
I've been a big fan of Gerard's game.
Gerard's very nice. He's had a really good last year on the tour and current start to this year. Noren would be the guy there who's locked into
he was locked into a little more, right? Because I do remember doing
the 4th, which is the PGA, and he's already top 25 in the world, so he'll still be in that. And then Berger is the riskiest, or equally risky, but I guess Berger is locked into the Open, and then he's going to be in the Masters, the PGA, and the U.S. Open. So they're all in all 4 events. We're still in the territory. We're getting guys in all 4 events. So this is they're all in kind of a similar tier. I mix those guys in.
Okay, so we will be coming around we still got a lot. So just to give people a little background, you're obviously drafting with 6. It's 12 rounds. And in case you haven't done this yet, and 6 are getting in the best ball format. 6 are getting placed in each of the majors.
And each major has cuts. So for instance, if we only had 5 of our 12 golfers make the cut at Augusta, we almost certainly would not advance out of this pod.
Right. So, okay, that's a great. It's
difficult because then there's cuts, and so there's a whole nother layer to it. You can draw. You could be in the finals and draw dead because you have 4 or 5 players who made the cut, and everyone else is going to have 6 that has a chance to win. And most players are going to have 8 that made the cut, or 9 or 10, and those guys are going to have the best chance with a deeper roster of potential.
Looks like Fox is all but U.S. Open and still has a chance. Who else do you like in this range? I was just looking.
So I like let's queue up Rasmus. Let's do Rasmus ahead of Fox.
Are you fine with Fox as our first pick?
I'm fine with Fox. I'm fine with Fox. He'll most likely be in. He's almost certainly going to be in all of the majors. He could continue to do badly and fall out of the U.S. Open, but I think it's most likely that he gets into all of them. So I'm cool with Fox. Is Nikolai Højgaard gone?
That's a good question. I believe.
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah.
I'm cool with Rasmus. Rasmus is guaranteed to play in the Masters and the Open, and he is top 53 in the world right now, so he should be on track to be in the PGA and the U.S. Open.
Yeah, that's why I was looking at the data golf. Okay, do you like him over like Nick Taylor?
Yeah. Nick Taylor's never done good in the majors. He's a little bit disappointing. He's a great golfer. He wins an event almost annually, but he's never done good at the majors.
Okay, so yeah, we have 3 more picks then. And I think we're talking through a lot of the stuff, like you said, like it's going to place 6 golfers in, but you want 6 golfers, like you said, that are making the cut at these events.
Again, there's a golfer that is a super risky golfer that is now I'm excited about. And it's one of these guys we have more information now. If you could look at the queue and I know there's some people in our room, maybe type in Michael.
I'm sorry. What was it again? I got
Michael.
Hold on. Let me take this away from Rudy. 1 second to go ahead and say it again.
Michael.
Okay.
Yeah. Queue up Thor Bjornsson.
He looks great this week, by the way.
He has about a 60% chance or more to finish in the top, I would say 16 at Houston, which would guarantee he's in the Masters.
Okay.
Because right now at the Houston Open, Thor Bjornsson's tied for 6th. They have a 5% chance he wins, a 35% chance of top 5, and a 78% chance top 20. He needs to get top 16 to be guaranteed to get into the Masters with his
so he needs to be 16 or more to make the Masters then.
And he's number 6 right now, and he's looking good.
Yeah.
I honestly think it's pretty safe. And I mean, we'll wait and kind of play it at ADP. We don't have to like force the pick up, but he's one of these guys that I'm willing to take in this range.
I was going to say, are there any other ones that you want to queue up? I need to grab a toy for Rudy really quick.
Yeah, no problem. Sam Stevens is another guy. He's almost certainly going to finish high enough at the Texas Children's. He's also tied for 6th right now.
I was going to say he looked good today too.
And Stevens is, if I'm not mistaken, he's number 50 in the world. So he's only going to move up. He's not going to move down. And so he's already a lock to be in the Masters. It's just most likely that he's going to maintain his OWGR throughout the season with some of these solid finishes like that we're seeing. So we have more confidence in him. So Sam Stevens was one of my most drafted players. Thor Bjornsson's gone.
Okay.
Totally good there to go Sam Stevens.
Okay, you're good to go Sam Stevens. Then who else?
So let's keep another one. Cootie withdrew. We're not going to take him.
I was drafting him early on because he started the season hot, right?
I know.
And then now it's like, is he going to even play in anything?
He's not going to play in the Masters. Cootie. He's not going to make it in. Right now, he's only qualified for the PGA and the U.S. Open. And so it's tough because you got to be in the Masters and you want to be in the Masters and you got to be in the Open. So we'll take Stevens there. Rye just WD'd with a neck injury. Got to avoid him. The next pick, I love Reeton. And then if we scroll down, Haotong Lee's a fun one. Grazerman's fine. McCarthy's injured.
Lee, I think Lee is qualified for 3, I think.
Yes. Yes. So with
these 3, who do you like the most?
Honestly, kind of Haotong Lee.
Okay, let's go that. And then we just have one more. So we have Scotty Scheffler, Victor Hovland, Justin Rose, Jacob Bridgman, Jordan Spieth, our guy, Knapp, Gerard Fox, Rasmus Højgaard, Sam Stevens, Haotong Lee, and we have one more pick. I think that's pretty good because, as you can see, if you're looking at the board, the first like 6 rounds basically are guys that are going to play in everything, give or take. But then that's where it gets tricky. For the last 6 is you do want to be paying attention. So I've been using Data Golf. I know you talk on your shows. And again, Candyman stream on Fantasy Football Garage. Make sure to check out his channel. You've been streaming every Tuesday, right?
PGA Tuesdays.
So he talks about the tournament, but then he also does Albatross too.
Yes. I have a trivia for you. Haotong Lee, he's currently qualified for 3 out of the 4 majors. I think there's a good chance he can get into the US Open. He's number 78 in the world right now. He'd been near in the top 70 to start of the season. He's in the Masters. He's definitely going to be in the PGA. He's already qualified for the Open, which matters the most.
Yeah.
Haotong Lee finished 4th, tied for 4th at the Open last season, which guarantees he'll be in the Open this year. We talked about Jordan Spieth finishing 1st at Royal Birkdale back in 2017. If you had to guess, who finished 4th at Royal Birkdale in 2017?
Justin Rose.
Rory McIlroy.
Okay.
And 3rd was Haotong Lee.
In 2017?
Yes. Haotong Lee's been a professional for about, I think, 10 or 12 years.
I did not know he's been around that long.
Yes. He's a Chinese golfer. He kind of flies under the radar. He actually got 3rd. It was Spieth, Matt Kuchar, Haotong Lee, and then Rory McIlroy. Alex Noren got 6th at Royal Birkdale. So that's why.
So we're on the clock. Do you like Grazerman, who we talked about earlier? Is there any like scroll downs that you think could like rise in ranking?
So it's Brennan is right now still qualified for all of the events. Casey Jarvis already went. I saw that. He's a DP World Tour guy. I think Brennan's kind of fun. If you have any favoritism over like Grazerman,
I don't have any strong
scroll down clicks, and we just need them to get a top 25 in any of the events. It's very likely that Brennan's going to play all of the events. He's still top. He's number 43 in the world right now. He's a rookie on the tour. He played in the Korn Ferry Tour last season. He's pretty good. He's guaranteed to be in the Masters and the PGA. He's on track to be at the U.S. Open and the Open. There's a chance that he falls off. He's never really played in the majors.
But it says he is, like you said, already definitely Masters, PGA, and trending for U.S. Open and Open. So, I do think that's kind of fun to get like a lower own click. Do you value that at the end of these drafts?
A little bit,
but not overwhelmingly.
Not overwhelmingly. I feel like it's still, even guys who are like Brennan, he's probably still drafted like 30% of the time, or like, so he's not even that crazy of a scroll. A lot of people are aware of him because of his performance in the Korn Ferry Tour last season. So Brennan's 33rd at Texas Children's right now. That would be his best finish on the PGA Tour this season. So he won a PGA Tour event back in the fall. So he was killing it on the Korn Ferry Tour.
Right.
Was it the Korn Ferry? Anyways, he was actually, I'm trying to zoom in on this one. He'd like won a bunch of events. But like in one of the feeder tours, it's actually not the Korn Ferry. It's the PGA Tour Americas, which is one of the feeder tours. He was like consistently winning those events. His very first PGA Tour event of 2025, which was the Bank of Utah Championship, he won that. And the field was okay. He beat out guys like Cootie, Matt McCarty, David Ford, Max Homa, Billy Horschel, so like Steven Yeager, guys who have won a bunch on the Kitayama, guys who won a bunch on the PGA Tour. So he kind of like, we're like, oh, this is the guy. This is the next guy. And he's very young. He's 24 years old. So we're like, okay, Brennan's the guy coming into this season. He's kind of faded a little bit since then because he got cut at the Sony. His best finish so far this season's like 48th at the Phoenix. He had a 26 in Puerto Rico, but that's like an alternate field event, so it's not that impressive either. But if he can finish in like the top 25 in Houston this week, that's a good signal.
Yeah.
Long story short, he's a perfectly fine scroll down.
Okay, I'm going to read it one more time, and I want your honest assessment of our team. So Scotty Scheffler, Victor Hovland, Justin Rose.
Scotty Scheffler, we win. That's it.
We're winning. Bridgman, Spieth, I say we're winning. Jake Knapp, Ryan Gerard, Ryan Fox, Rasmus Højgaard, Sam Stevens, Haotong Lee, and Michael Brennan. It definitely has some different combinations than I've gotten with my Scotty Scheffler builds, but still getting my guy Jordan Spieth, our guy Jordan Spieth, the Texas guy. So honest assessment, how do you think we did?
Super strong. And obviously I'm biased because I feel like we chose a lot of these players together, but the reason I think it's so strong and the reason I think there's a huge edge in this format is because we're drafting golfers who play well at the Open. If this team gets through, all that matters is being strong enough in that final 200-person pod to have golfers who can not only make the cut, golfers who are going to perform well at the Open. And, you have to get there, but it really, I mean, there's no point in min cashing once you get there. You want to try to win. So I think
we want that 50K to be splitting,
And at the worst case scenario, we're going to have, I think if I'm looking at this right, the very worst case scenario, we're going to have 11 golfers in every single event.
Okay. No,
so that is honestly the field. The field expectation drafting at ADP is to have somewhere between 9 and 10 golfers in every event, because a lot of people are drafting golfers who are like Ricky Fowler, who's only qualified for one, or they draft guys like Homa, who is qualified for like one event, or, and so pretty quickly you can take a lot of bad picks, Ricky Fowler, Homa, and those start to stack up on your team. It's like drafting 2 quarterbacks with the exact same bye, but that bye is week 16 and it's a playoff week. So like your team is almost dead. And obviously it's kind of a rough analogy, but all that to say is the power of just having more shots on goal in this format, I think, is extremely strong. It's extremely plus EV. And there's always going to be a chance that a golfer who plays in only one major, maybe he only plays in a PGA, he's not going to win it because the top guys always win them typically. But you could have a golfer, he only plays in the PGA, which is the easiest event to get into, and maybe he finishes number 3 or 4 overall, like third or fourth. But it's not really going to give your team in this contest any benefit to have that golfer. The flip side would be you could scroll down and make that case if it's the Open. If you're at the Open and you're the only team who drafted Laurie Cantor, and Laurie Cantor gets second or third at the Open, and you were able to carry him through the other events he wasn't qualified for, and then he's your ringer at the Open, that has some power. So there is some risk reward in scrolling down and getting a low-owned guy. But at the end of the day, it's a 200-person field in the final. It's not 2,000 people. It's not like when I do PGA DFS or the weekly tournaments, I'm trying to scroll down to beat 2,000 to 10,000 people. And that's when I'm going to take a big risk, a big swing like that. Right. In a 200-person final, you really just have to have the first round picks right. And it's not going to matter so much like the scroll downs. Honestly, you just got to get there. You got to be in the final, and you're going to have the guy that wins, and you're going to want to have 2 or 3 golfers who finish in the top 10 on top of that. And that's going to be the team who wins.
Well, let me, and that is perfectly said, and we will be drafting more. So everybody stay tuned. Let me catch up with chat real quick. You said David Miller is in a lot of your rooms. And so great to see David Miller in here. We'll look at his team really quick. So he's got Rory, Colin, Morikawa, Hideki, Goddard, Straka, Keegan Bradley, Nikolai Hogard, the other brother, Harry Hall, Thor Bjornsson, he's the one who snuck in front of us, Casey Jarvis, who you mentioned too, and Gary Woodland, who is currently in first place right now. I think this team looks strong. What do you think about this team?
It's a strong team. These are some good picks. My only cause for concern is, and it's a last round pick, but it's Woodland. So Woodland's guaranteed to beat the U.S. Open. That's good. There's a chance he can get into the PGA, especially if he wins this week in Houston. He'll be on track. He could get into the Open. It's a little bit riskier, but there's no way he can make the Masters, even if he wins in Houston.
Even if he wins tonight this weekend?
He's 139 in the world. If he wins in Houston, he'd get down to like 55. So he cannot make the Masters. But at the same time, a win in Houston in a continually, decent rest of season, he can be a very low-owned, nice piece. And he's a former U.S. Open winner in 2019. So he's already won a major. He's got it done before. We love Gary Woodland. Great story. Yeah. And he's a great guy. And one of my most drafted players in the Albatross over the years. It's only this current season. So if you win a major, you get 5 years access into all of the majors. You're guaranteed to be in the majors for 5 more years. His ran out at the end of 2014. So we're like 2 years technically removed from him being, or I guess that would be,
So what did he win? He won what year?
The U.S. Open back in 2019. Gary Woodland did.
Okay. Gotcha.
He beat out Brooks. So Brooks got second. Imagine if Brooks had another U.S. Open.
Because he has 2?
Yeah, he's got 2 and 3 PGAs. So
PGAs,
Brooks is that guy. That's why, when Brooks came back off Live, I was kind of excited, but we just haven't seen any good play from him. Maybe we get into a major and Brooks shines.
He is like a majors killer. Yeah.
I know it's kind of tough. So I do like the Gary Woodland pick. It's fun. It's current. It makes a lot more sense with what's going on in Houston. My only critique, but in your 12th round, it's perfectly good pick. And the rest of this team is fun. A little bit of a faller on Harry Hall. He's had a bad start to the year, but he's been a good golfer. Sungjae Im's a fun pick. We think he's healthy. We saw him competing last week, so that's some good confidence. Højgaard's a great pick. He's almost going to be guaranteed to be in the Masters. And then Keegan Bradley. We talked a little bit about course history, but one thing I wanted to mention about Keegan Bradley, and you talked about this too. So the Masters is always at Augusta.
Mm-hmm.
The PGA, the U.S. Open, and the Open change courses every year. We've mentioned on stream so far, the last time they played at Royal Birkdale for the Open, Spieth won, and that was 2017. The last time the PGA Tour played at Aeronomic Golf Club in Pennsylvania was the 2018 BMW Championship. And guess who won that event?
Wait, I feel like it was someone we just talked about. And
Keegan Bradley
Okay, I was gonna say who you were just talking about. Okay, Keegan Bradley.
In the runner-up, Justin Rose.
Okay,
So
hey.
Justin Rose and Justin Rose is one of those golfers. He plays well repeatedly at courses where he plays well.
Right.
And there are guys who are like that. There are some guys who just kind of get lucky. But I think there is this thing in golf where it's like some guys just play better at certain courses. There's consistency. They like it. They like the setting for whatever reason. So that's a big plus there. The last time the PGA Tour played at Shinnecock Hills in New York, which is where
the U.S. Open.
The U.S. Open is this year. That was 2018 when Brooks Koepka won.
Okay.
Runner-up was Fleetwood. And in fourth place was Patrick Reed,
he's playing all four, right?
Yes,
I believe.
Yes. And he is probably, if you had to make a bet on who wins at Augusta, Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, Patrick Reed might be the third highest odds. I mean, I'd have to look.
Really?
But just like Patrick Reed is a killer at Augusta. He has one of the best course histories there. That's where he won his green jacket. And if I'm going to scroll up on my list and just look at I'll read out like the recent last 5 years of course history at Augusta for Patrick Reed, who's been one of the biggest risers in this format, in this tournament. Let me find his name.
I think I have a good bit of him.
Oh, he's one of the best picks on the board. So he got third last year, 12th the year before, 4th the year before that, 35th, and then an 8th. So in the last 5 years, he has 4 out of 5 top 12s, and he has 3 out of 5 top 10s. That is absurd. The only person who's better than that is literally Scotty Scheffler. And then there's other guys who are like similarly as good or close, like Xander Schauffele or pretty close.
I was going to say, I feel like Schauffele has had recent really good history there too.
Yeah. Corey Connors is another very excellent player.
Steve's a big Corey Connors fan. I'm Steve's Corey Connors. So,
and then Spieth, of course, Spieth too. Spieth has 3 out of 5 top 15s there. 2 of them are cuts though, the ones that he didn't get top 15. So Spieth has that streak in him where,
right.
There's this meme in kind of PGA Twitter and kind of the golf fantasy space. It's like if you're ever watching a tournament and Spieth's in the field and they cut to a camera and it's like looking behind a tree or behind a bush or out of bounds, 9 out of 10 times it's Jordan Spieth looking for a ball.
Right. That's what I mean. It's like I clearly have a type, Candyman. I like Kim Scatabo and Jordan Spieth. I like living on the edge, clearly. No, okay, so I'm going to catch up with chat. Then we're going to talk a little more course history, and then we're going to jump into another one. But Mike Rob, you wait to address this. I had to say hi to chat too. So thank you all for being here. If you're watching this live or watching this on replay, hit the like button. For anybody new, checking out some new different content, because obviously it's mostly NFL best ball. Checking out this PGA content. We are doing best ball content pretty much every single day. So make sure you're subscribed. Check out the links in the description for Candyman's YouTube, free Discord, checking out our Substack, lots of good stuff in there. Mike says, last time Candyman streamed with someone who usually streams with a partner, he almost broke up the whole stream. Wonder what's in store for the shops. Any comment on last Friday's Toxic Tower? That was their episode this week was hysterical. It wasn't your fault. You didn't do anything. You called you. I was dying when you called BBG a scoundrel.
Well, that's what's so funny. PPR and BG try to goad me into shit talking Emo. I would never. Emo's a fine gentleman, a great guy.
Exactly.
It's the PPR, the BBGs you got to watch out for. Those guys are a mess. I love them.
I just love that you called him a scoundrel. I thought that was hysterical.
It's very fitting, but at the same, he's a great guy too. I'm a
great guy. Anyways, that we addressed that. We got our guy Who Hames in here. We said hi to David Miller. We got my brother Steve. We got Cody. Cody says Bryson is winning the Masters. Get used to it. I think he could.
He might not be wrong. He might not be wrong.
He might not be wrong. Yeah. So, I want to make sure I have my different Bryson's combos. Cause like you said,
yes,
you're getting this, and I'll bring up the board again before we get into other stuff. And I do want to catch up with the rest of the chat. This is pretty standard as far as the first round. And like you said, you want to mix up your combos. And because Bryson's on the end here, you can really mix up your different combos. And so far, I do think I have a Bryson Fitzpatrick, Bryson Cam Young, Bryson Aberg. I might want to get, different and pull up somebody else. You know what I mean? Because like you said, there's guys on this side of the board that wouldn't come back here then. So I think that's a great shout out by Cody. The Cooler's in here giving me a hard time, knows my Jordan Spieth love. Let's just use a totally random example, Jordan Spieth. We got Hartman in here, who I know was streaming earlier. Off the Schneid says, and Big Dick Vic is winning the US Open. Get used to it.
I love that call. That makes sense to me.
Hey, that works for ours. We didn't have Bryson, but we, maybe we'd
he gets us there.
Yeah. So Cody's called out Masters, US Open. Let's see if he has any calls out for the PGA and the Open. But Cody, good to see you. And if you haven't caught Off the Schneid, make sure you're following him too. Yes. Okay. Here I am behind in the chat, and Steve asked about Corey Connors. That's his guy.
I mean, look at my exposure to give Steve a better, like how much I love Corey Connors. I take a ton of Corey Connors in all the DFS, the weekly tournaments. He sims out very well in a lot of the weekly stuff.
He just doesn't win often, right? I mean, it's hard to win on the PGA.
You're right. He's got wins under his belt. He wins specifically. Like I know he's won a bunch in the past at the Valero, which is next week. He's won that twice. He's won the API twice. So he's one of those guys who wins. He hasn't won the API twice. I misspoke. I was thinking of Henley. He's done really well at the API though. Connors has. He does really well at the Masters. I have 26% Connors. Field average would be, I think, 16, 17%. So I'm not double the field, but I'm approaching that. And I think Connors is an incredible piece to help you out.
Especially he has good Masters. At Augusta. Good Masters course.
And he's done well in majors. He has good tournament history. Other than just Augusta, he's got a good history at both the Open, where he got 10th last year, and the US Open, where he got 9th 2 years ago. So he is a guy that in a strong field can play up to the level of competition. We've seen it for the last 5 years with him.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember if Steve Yolta in chat, did we see Corey Connors at the US Open last year? I know I made sure to follow. Rom, Spieth, and Dustin Johnson were on a group, and I was there on Friday, and it was so fun to see them live. That was awesome. Okay, Cooler says, am I being too extreme saying Goddard feels like a terrible pick at ADP? Obviously, he's a young, hot name. What's your opinion on this?
I think Goddard's ADP, it is fine. It is a very competitive spot on the board to be in because guys like Patrick Reed go after him. Sepp Straka goes after, Justin Rose goes after. And so I still want some Goddard. He's won twice on the tour this year. Very rare to do that. And he's going to be a contender. Like he's not even in the prime of his career yet. He is kind of on a like up and coming path to being super competitive. You think of guys like Akshay Bhatia, Chris Goddard. They're in that Scotty Scheffler group that are going to be pushing to maybe one day be number one in the world. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm saying like the potential's there. So I just don't want to be out on Goddard the year when he upsets and wins like the Open or something, and you have to have him. We saw him win at the Scottish Genesis Open last year, which is a very difficult tournament to win. And then he followed that up with his performance at the Open, where he got he got third. So Chris Goddard got third.
He was third last year
in his kind of breakout season after winning the Genesis Open and Scottish Genesis. So like all that together, it's an expensive price. It could be worth it. So I don't want to be out on Goddard. I think he's a killer.
That's fair. He has kind of, wasn't he one of the hot favorites to win this week? And it's kind of,
it's hard to win week in, week out. I mean, no one really has. Unless you're Scotty Scheffler, you honestly don't have much higher than a 3 to 5% chance to win any given week. And that's good odds. Right. Scotty's just the anomaly. Rory's a bit higher than that usually. So like, to think that, should Goddard is one of the favorites to win this week, that still means he probably wins 1 out of 20 times. At best.
Yeah. No, I was just surprised he kind of has started a little slower because he's kind of a bomber, right? And a good course fit.
He did make the cut though, so he's not out yet.
Right. We got money in a thing. Lewis Abberg, number 101. I love watching Abberg. It's easy on the eyes for me. I could be his mother, but it's I could be his mom, but holy
big.
smokes. But no, I've been drafting a lot of Aberg at the turn.
We make a joke that Oberg has the best PR team in all of golf because he is, you know, a gorgeous guy.
Yeah, he's a gorgeous man. He's
Perfect
a gorgeous...
swing. He has, they call it, a lot of them, like Rick Rungood calls him Ludwig AI because he has like a swing as if you were like the robot made to like win golf tournaments.
Right.
And
right.
he's played well each of the last 2 years at the Masters, his first 2 times competing there.
Yeah.
So he is competitive. It seems like it seems like I would say this. I'm slightly fading him at his ADP just because he's a borderline first, second round pick. You have guys like Cam Young going after him, Colin Morikawa, Matt Fitzpatrick, Hideki, Henley, guys. And I think Oberg should be in the category with like Goddard and with like Batia and maybe even comped to best case Cam Young. But he's going ahead of all of those guys. And so he is just like the most expensive piece of his tier. But at the same time, like I could see him being a guy you need. He doesn't have a great history at the Open. It's not terrible, but he's better on the front half, like the Masters. And so anyways, all that to say, like Oberg has the best PR in the PGA. Like he does get a lot of love. Everyone loves that guy. And I'm a fan too, but it's expensive.
I love watching him. For multiple reasons. I'll say that, but yeah, no, I have been drafting him at the turn. Now we got a string of comments giving a hard time about my Spieth love. Of course, Steve knows, drafts with me a lot. He says Meg doesn't believe in pushing players, 0%. And they were looking for a reaction. He said Meg's his ADP was 37 before Meg started drafting him. He is up to 32 now. It might be because of me. Got to pull him up to take Aaron Rodgers. I did not know that Aaron Rodgers was in the field. That absolutely is hysterical. Mike Rob giving you a hard time. This is a Candyman stream. They won't see your comment before 11 p.m. So they're giving you a hard time. They're giving both
pretty
of us
close. It's pretty close to 11 Eastern time, so it's not far off.
So I'm catching up now. A lot of controversy with the Spieth win, though. Candyman, what are we talking about there? With a lot of controversy. With
I think Cody's referring back to when Spieth won.
Okay.
At Royal Birkdale at the Open.
Royal Birkdale. Okay. Yeah, Rudy was so badly behaved during most of that draft. I don't know if you saw the tweet, Candyman, but Hope teased out that, she asked for feedback. I gave feedback and I said, I'd love a boxer tournament. I've had boxers for 20 years and showed the picture and I got so excited. And I said, Rudy will be streaming all boxer contests, live streaming with me. Now, based on Rudy's behavior, I can't say the boxer contests are going to go very well because that was just terrible behavior. He was flying all over the office, knocking over everything possible. It smells like peanut butter in here, but he's finally laying down. So, so Cooler said Rudy is absolutely dismantling somebody back there. Then Mike Robb created a Rudy account. So maybe if you weren't streaming at all hours, I could be asleep right now. And then Money Thing noted the Woodland pick. So giving us a hard time. We made it before the Hawaii time zone. So love it. I had the audacity to say long story short. So Mike Robb's giving both of us a hard time. What can you say? So is Steve. What's going on here? We're giving you guys some good content, some good information. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed to both channels. Let me make sure. Okay, we got Hartman saying Lewis Adberg is the GOAT. Nobody swings as pretty. You said it looks like AI. I do think it is a pretty swing too.
So Hartman's in on the best PR in the PGA.
He's in on that joke.
Yeah, he's in on it. He's just leaning into it.
He's leaning into it. Okay, he's leaning into it. And Cooler says Meg's out here. Auberg Maxing. Is it Adberg or Auberg? Oberg. I wasn't even right. Yeah.
It's okay. I said it wrong for a full year. Oberg. It's
okay. I'm out here Oberg Maxing. Absolutely. Like I said, I could be his mom, but holy smokes, do I love watching the swing, love watching the man. So, so that's draft number 1. let's get into another one. We can talk through more of the course fit stuff. If anybody wants to join us, I am going to enter a second albatross right now. Of course, I get the location error. Awesome. Let me hit the old refresh. Because you're right. These don't fill that, usually typically fill that fast. Of course, now, okay. So back to this. And we are good, and we need one more. So
that's not bad. One more is not bad.
Yeah, no, I mean both times. Yeah, because there have been times where I've waited a good bit. Have you done many of the good open yet?
Yeah, I've done 10, and I'm trying to figure out how many I want to do.
It's definitely like if you make the finals, it's not as exciting because it's like anywhere from like
I think it's 5K. So I've done
5K up top, but it's like if you make the finals, it's like 50 to 5K. It's a very wide range, but it's a $5 shot at 5K to get a little more action down. So I definitely like that. Okay, so you talked about some of the open specialists. We talked about Spieth. We talked about go ahead and talk about all the other open. You talked about Hao Tung Lee. Who are some of the other open specialists?
Sure. Yeah, I was just responding to Coolers in the chat. I've got a watch list. So there's been a few names. One guy that has been on my watch list for a long time, and I drafted a bunch of them last year in the Albatross, is Laurie Cantor. He plays on the DP World Tour. I want to say he's like top. I have to pull it up, but he's close enough on the DP World Tour rankings. Let me go to Data Golf right now and pull up Cantor and then go over to those rankings. So, actually, I mean, he's not doing great in the DP World Tour right now. Spoke too soon, but Cantor is qualified for the Open and the US Open, and he's on track to be qualified for the PGA. So the only thing he's not going to make is the Masters. But Laurie Cantor has a decent enough course history at the Open. He got 25th there 2 years ago and tied for 17th 3 years ago. He actually got cut last year, which hurt me because I had like 10 or 12% Cantor, and I was banking on him to be a specialist there.
We are on the clock. Do you want to pull up Bryson or do you want to go Xander?
So
I have them over both of them over Fleetwood.
Let's take Bryson.
Yeah.
I have my highest exposed first round pick is Xander. I think with the recent form of DeChambeau, I really want that. And we know he's good. He's won the last 2 live events in Singapore and South Africa. And I love Xander. I'm a huge Xander fan too. I think it's kind of a toss up. So I think I'm kind of evening out a little bit by my rankings. I obviously go Scheffler, Rory, Rahm. I did move DeChambeau ahead of Schauffele, but then I go Schauffele, and to me, it's a toss up.
So we are back on the clock, and I queued up basically everybody in between, and it's Aberg left. Do we want to take the beautiful man? Or
I would have gone Cam Young or Fitzpatrick. Let's go Colin Morikawa. We're getting signs that he's going to tee it up and play next week.
Okay, so you want to go Colin
at the Valero. And Colin Morikawa, I mean, besides the fact that he won at Pebble Beach already, which is a very hard course to win at, previously has hosted events like US Opens, a very strong field. He followed that up with 7th at the Genesis and 5th at the API. So Colin is having an incredible season already. He WD'd, and so that was kind of the scare of like what his injury was. And he's going to be in the field. So we're back in. He's a guy who's won the Open in 2021. He won the PGA in 2020. He can get it done. 2 years ago, the comp for Colin Morikawa was only 2 years ago. We were saying who's better, Colin Morikawa or Scotty Scheffler. Obviously, Scotty Scheffler has taken rocket ship forward, but Colin Morikawa is
really quick. We're back on the clock. Do you go by ADP? It's Siwoo, Goddard, Akshay, Brooks, Patrick Reed.
I think we can get Reed with our next pick. Let's go
Yeah,
Goddard up here. Let's go Goddard.
Oh, and I didn't even realize Coolers is in with us. Okay, so you want to go Goddard. We talked about how it's expensive, but like it could be worth it. How he looked good at the Open. I like that. So
and this is a non-Scotty Scheffler team. So we're going to need like Bryson and Colin. I'm very confident with that being our core. It's a very strong core. Now we're going for upside because someone's going to have to do something that require like, if Scotty is not the key to winning, how do you get there? I have to think through that. Like, what are the paths? And maybe it's a Goddard up doing something like winning at the Open, or a strong finish. I think Colin has a better chance to win it though.
So Coolers goes, Siwoo Kim, Cantlay, Reed does go, Brooks comes back to us. Are you fine with that, or what?
I honestly, I'm okay with going Brooks. I think what I've been doing here in this range, I will take some like Sep.
Your choice. I mean, this week was scary, but I do think it feels like it's coming.
I'm okay with Brooks. I'm totally okay with Brooks. I mean, the 4th round Brooks is not too expensive.
Right.
He's been more and less expensive in this contest. It's totally fine. I would think of guys like Sepp and Bridgman you could bring up there. Harris English is another guy. I really like Harris English. He's always been a great pick. Sam Burns is a great pick. For guys who have not won a major but could win one, I think Harris English and Sam Burns are squarely in that category of veterans, been on the tour for a long time, a ton of tour wins on difficult courses that have hosted majors. Like we've seen Harris English win at Torrey Pines. That's hosted, U.S. Opens in the past. It's difficult field, difficult course, all that good stuff.
Okay, I gotta. Oh yeah, because D Miller is in here, Coolers is in here, FB Wizard, and then Money Anything. Are you in here? I forget your handle on here. Okay, so we are back up. We're up at 28 and 33. Harris English, Corey Connors, and Jordan Spieth. So y'all let you make the call here. What do you want to do at pick 28?
Only because we did get Spieth in the first one. Let's see if we can push him. Harris English is a very good pick. Okay. He has incredible history.
He's brokenhearted that we didn't take Connors, but hopefully we get one.
And I love Connors too. Let me sell you even further right now on Harris English. So he does well at the Open. He has, of the last 5 years, he's got 3 top 25s at the Masters. He got second at the PGA last year. In the last 5 years, he has an 8th and a 3rd at the U.S. Open. He got second at the Open last year. He was the second place guy at the Open.
He was second place last year? Yeah. I didn't even remember that. Steve was there on the final day. Oh, look who fell back. Holy shit. I'm sorry, but I'm going to be like I am when Cam's got it.
Spieth. If we weren't taking Spieth, I'm also okay with Minwoo Lee.
Sure.
He's fun. He's kind of an overpriced up-and-comer, exciting name. He doesn't have a ton of wins under his belt. He won Houston last year. Compared to some other guys who are still available, like Brian Harman, who's won the Open. Brian Harman's won on the tour a bunch of times. He's way too cheap. I think Brian Harman.
I've taken a lot of Brian Harman. I love hearing you say that. And I think he's qualified for all 4, right?
Oh, easily. Yes. Yeah. Brian Harman's a smash. He's guaranteed to be in all 4.
Where is Harman going? Okay, he doesn't go. Okay, do you want to pull him up here, or who do you like? It's Keegan, Gerard, Wyndham Clark.
I'm cool with either Keegan, Gerard, or Berger. Everyone hates Harman for some reason, so he always falls.
Okay, Keegan, Gerard, or Berger. I'll let you choose. 11 seconds, your choice.
Let's just go Berger.
Okay, yeah, because we took Gerard last time, so
yeah, and Berger's very good. He's having a good year. Keegan sometimes falls. Harman almost always.
I think
falls.
In watching your show, you like Cam Smith, who's
I know I put the brakes on Cam Smith.
He's really okay. I've been taking him live
off because he's better than what he's currently performing as.
Yeah.
The problem with Cam Smith is he has $100 million in his bank account. He has a $2 million fishing boat, and his house is on the coast in Florida, and he can go fishing every day of the week. So that's my problem with Cam Smith is life.
Oh, damn it. FB Wizard.
Nikolai Højgaard.
Okay.
For sure.
We'll go Højgaard.
So Højgaard's going to make the Masters with how he finishes at Houston. We're super excited to get some more exposure to him.
Okay. Love it. Love it. So we start in our first, 8. We start Bryson, Morikawa, Goddard, Brooks, English, Spieth, Berger, Højgaard. That feels like a lot of upside. I like it a lot.
Love it.
Money anything. Let me know if your handle, if you are in this one. I don't think you're FFB Wizard. I know I recognize FFB Wizard, and then D Miller.
He's
obviously.
accidental victory.
Oh, he's accidental victory. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I can barely see because you know how it is.
Yeah. Okay. I did not realize. Good to see you in here. So yeah, we got Money Anything in here. We got D Miller in here. We got
Miller was telling me he's got like
Fuller's
7 or 8 or 10 or 12 drafts left to go before he maxes. So he was dead set on maxing tonight.
Who was?
Miller.
Miller is maxing tonight. Okay, I like it. I like it. And then FFB Willer and Coolers. So yeah, this really is a friends and family draft. Love to see it. Okay, pick 52 at the top. Not Ricky Fowler. We took Ryan Fox last time. We took Rasmus last time. Nick Taylor, Aaron Rice, Sahith.
So in this circumstance, I'm okay with Nick Taylor and Andrew Novak because they're going to be in all of the events.
They're qualified. Yeah.
And then we have a pick pretty soon after that. So let's just start with one of those two guys. Do you have a preference? Honestly, I do like Nick Taylor. He didn't have
I feel like the floor, it feels like it's enough of a floor maybe that I'm fine with it.
Nick Taylor's won some nice events. He wins on the PGA Tour about once a year. Novak doesn't have a great tournament history at majors either. It's like, and Nick Taylor's he's an experienced veteran on the PGA Tour. Like he could surprise or have a nice finish. We don't have to have him win.
If Novak goes, we didn't get Thorbjornsen. Miller got him last time. So
no. We'll see.
What's that?
Nothing.
Oh.
Okay. We gotta go Thorbjornsen. I think he's the risk reward pick right now. He's almost certainly gonna make the Masters and
done.
He's a fun pick. He's a fun pick. This is a
I love this. I've been outed so much for sneaky sniping. That's hysterical. All right. Who else will be back up before you know it at pick 64?
I got some names.
This is a part of the draft. You know, we're coming up on our 11th and 12th round where a lot of these guys probably won't be qualified. Although I will say Novak is qualified for 3 out of the 4, just not PGA Championship yet. Not sure how you feel about that.
He'll get into the PGA for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Novak he goes. So he goes to Miller. So I know. Did you mention Rattan? Lee is still there.
Yes.
What else do you like here?
So
Reiterman, we talked about.
Reiterman is on track to be qualified for all of them, and he's not been playing great though on the PGA Tour so far this season. But I like. Obviously, Hao Tung Lee's a great pick. I really like that pick. Grazerman's a good pick. He's a good. Wrighton is on track to be into a lot of events. I think he's number 38 in the world right now. He's actually pretty high up there, and he should retain. Yeah, he's 48 in the world. But he's guaranteed to be in the Masters and in the Open. Yeah. So it's really just being top 100 for the PGA and top 60 for the U.S. Open, which he could do. He's typically a good putter. And he's been winning on the DP World Tour. He just hasn't been winning. He's never won on the PGA Tour. So he's not like in this range. You're not looking for golfers who could win a major. Almost none of these guys will ever win a major. Some of them might not even win on the PGA Tour ever, not even like a normal event. But you're looking for guys who could give you a top 10 or a top 25 finish and just that 6th guy in your lineup.
Yeah. What do you think about Grazerman here, or is there anybody else?
I'm cool with
one more
Grazerman. McCarty scares me because he's injured right now. Otherwise, I really liked him. If we scroll down a little bit, let me just see. There's other names we could pull up. This is the 11th pick.
Yeah, and then we have one more after this.
And then I've got a couple last pick names that we didn't do last time that we could do.
Awesome. Okay, because we didn't get Grazerman last time either, and Lee went this time to accidental victory. There we go.
In past years, Grazerman's been like a top 30 or 40 pick. He's just been kind of up and down and hasn't been able to have like recent success that he had a few years ago.
Yeah. Okay, so who are some names that we could queue up here? Because we'll be up in 3.
Yes, I got him. We'll see. I don't want him to snipe us, but I got him loaded.
Okay, got it.
These are the. I will give out some watch list names though. Guys.
David had autoed Fowler for him. Okay, we're back on the clock.
You hate to see it. Go ahead and type in Jarvis or Casey.
Oops. Jarvis.
Yes, Casey Jarvis.
Okay. So you want to go with it?
This is a very good last round pick. Casey Jarvis. You might remember him from his winning on the DP World Tour at the Magical Kenya Open. If you don't remember him there, you might remember him the very next week in March when he won on the DP World Tour at the South African Open. Okay. If you don't remember him there, you might remember him from the very next week when he got second at the Joburg Open. So this is a South African golfer. He's 22 and a half years old. He's won or been the runner-up in 3 of the last DP World Tour events, which is nothing to scoff at. He's currently 69th in the world. He's 3rd on the DP World Tour, only behind Patrick Reed and Jaden Shaper. And he's guaranteed to be in the Masters and the Open with his wins on the DP World Tour. And he is very likely to be both in the US Open and the PGA, because he'll get in the PGA based on his OWGR being in the top 100. He gets into the US Open because he's going to be potentially top 60 in OWGR by the end of May. But even if not, there's still another cutoff, and he's potentially getting in being one of the top guys, not otherwise exempt on the DP World Tour. So he is a super kind of just like all upside. At least he's in the events. Yeah. So if he does anything at all, it's just icing on top.
And it's like you said, it's good to especially mix up those combos at the end of these, I mean, I have a lot of Haotong Li too, because from watching your show and then doing research and realizing, okay, to get a guy that late that is in that many contests. And then I didn't even realize the course history at Royal Birkdale is really nice. So I have a lot of him, but other than that, I'm trying to mix up, especially these last 3 or 4 rounds, because, these aren't the ones that you really are counting on. And if they are, like you said, if they are just qualified and play 2 or 3, then that's okay. You're just swinging for upside here. So let's go over. Usually we do team reviews for our Fanspeak fam YouTube members. Feel free to check it out. Click the join button. You get emojis, badges, team reviews, but you also get 2 extra shows a week from us. But this is special today. We're doing golf. We never do golf on this channel. So this is special. Let's go over all the teams here. So D Miller from the 1 spot goes Scotty, Hideki, Rose, Lowry, Burns, Noren, Jason Day, Penge, another young up and comer, Nico, Andrew Novak, Ricky Fowler, who he said got autoed, and a pot. How do you say that? Potgieter?
I do like Potgieter as a last round pick. I took him as a last round pick earlier today. Nice. It's a fun click. It's a risk reward. He's won on the PGA Tour. He's a fun last pick who doesn't always get drafted. He's a pretty late ADP.
Qualified for a Masters and PGA Championship. So that's
he can do well and get into the other ones. And with a guy like Potgieter, I know the Albatross is 50% filled, but if things continued how they were, he's going to be like 10% to 15% drafted at the most. So it's like it is a qualified scroll down pick.
Okay. That's good to know, because, for the rest of the ones I do, I want to definitely mix those up. Okay. So Jeff, or Money Ain't a Thing, who is accidentally Victory here, says, my goal is to mix up my Rory team exposures. I succeeded. I'll take it. I love it.
Let's see what he did.
So let's go. So we got Rory, Bobby McIntyre, Henley, JT, Straka, Minwoo Lee, Kurt Kitayama, Harry Hall, Brennan, Lee, and Kiefer. So I think that's a fun team. How do you feel about that team with Rory?
Very strong up top. No problems there. Kiefer was one of the favorite late round picks when the tournament opened for about a whole 2 months. And he has just been sucking it up on the tour. I mean, Kiefer, he's a PGA Tour rookie. The bar was pretty low, but he's got only, like, his best finish was 41st at the Phoenix and 27th at the American Express, which was a long time ago now. So he's been bad on the tour for a while. We need to see something good out of Kiefer. He's currently 20th at the Texas Children's Houston Open. It's not bad. He's guaranteed to beat the Masters. He's guaranteed to beat the US Open, which are 2 of the harder events to qualify for. He's on track to be in the PGA. So he previously was in the top 50 in OWGR when the Albatross opened. He would have been in all 4 events. Everyone was drafting him a bunch. People have cooled off. I think he is a good scroll down pick. I would say John Kiefer. If you haven't drafted Johnny Kiefer yet, He is an interesting, fun late round pick. And so, yeah, I like this squad. It's a nice squad.
That's a fun squad. And good reminder here, smash the like button. We appreciate you guys watching. We will do another draft here. Let me go over Coolers in our team. So Coolers gets at the turn Fleetwood, Cam Young, Siwoo Kim, Cantlay, McNeely, Connors, Steve's guy there, Gerard, Wyndham Clark, Sam Stevens. These were guys we talked about in our drafts, potentially Aaron Rye, Michael Kim, and McKibben. So, I like a lot of those. The only ones I'm not as familiar with are Michael Kim and McKibben, but seems like a very strong team out of the 6-hole to me. What do you think, Candyman?
Because I know Coolers is a real one. He can handle it.
He's a real one.
I'm going to be tough.
Okay.
I like Fleetwood at the 106. Good pick. And with Cam Young, it's nice. Cantlay has great majors history. Cantlay is kind of a dog.
I'm not a Cantlay fan, but I know that he is good.
It's okay because he's a little bit underwhelming. He doesn't have the fanfare. Cantlay is low-key very good. If you keep scrolling down, though, there's a few more picks specific to this format that I'm on the rocks about. So if you keep going down, he at the end of his team, good picks. Aaron Rye. I was drafting Aaron Rye as well. I think I was up to like 20% Aaron Rye at one point. He just WD'd with a neck injury, and it's so close to the Masters and major season. I never want to hear. There's 2 injuries I never want to hear. It's neck or back with golfers because you just never know what the timetable is to return. If Aaron Rye comes back and he's ready to go, great. But I'm a little bit paused for concern. So I've paused drafting Aaron Rye at the moment. I've also paused drafting Matt McCarty at the moment because of his back injury. And he's one of my most drafted players, which I'm hoping he comes back all right. Colin Morikawa is on track to come back next week at the Valero. So we feel good about Colin, and Colin's like very expensive, but he's so good. And then Michael Kim, I think I've drafted Michael Kim exactly one time. Michael Kim has been a pro for a very long time. He is honestly never really finished well at a major. The last time he got a top 25 at a major was 2013. And so Michael Kim is great. He's a grinder. He can grind out fantasy points on the tour when he's playing every week. When it's majors only, I'm pretty critical of him. I don't think he's a guy that can hang in these very, very tough, top-heavy fields with the best of the best. So he is qualified for 3, or he's on track to be qualified for 3 out of 4 majors. He's playing in the Masters. I think, and also he gets drafted almost every time. So it's not like you're getting scroll down value with him. I think there is some reward, but to me, I don't see him being a guy you have to have. If I'm proven wrong and Michael Kim is like a skeleton key this year, it's possible. I don't think I'm going to get burned by Michael Kim though.
Yeah, and these are 11th, 12th round. But
and this is so late, so I'm just being hypercritical of selections. But he is
Coolers is a real one. He shares a ton of great stuff. Check out the free link in our Discord. Coolers shares a ton of great stuff, a lot of data and charts, and he is a real one. So you're absolutely right. So he says my last 3 picks is definitely most unsure about. I definitely appreciate the honest feedback and not just saying good team. So you're right. He's a real one, and he can take it
at the same time. This is a guy. It's shots on goal. Michael Kim is qualified for 3 of the 4 majors. At one point, he was qualified for all 4. He just dropped out of the OWGR. So he actually was an interesting pick in the late rounds for a while, being qualified for all 4 events, and he could get back into it. McKibben is a guy that I've been tempted to take. I typically don't take him. I've done it a few times. He's a live tour golfer, but he is from the exact same town that Rory McIlroy is from. His entire golf game is sculpted after Rory. He wants to be Rory McIlroy. For some reason, he went to the live tour, though, because they offered him a bag, and he's 23 years old, so he's already a millionaire, and he's never won anything, really. But he's qualified for the Masters and the Open. So he's got the 2 hardest events to get into. He's already in. So anything in the middle is just gravy. McKibben is actually kind of a fun last-round pick that I do want to up my exposure to a little bit because he's just this Northern Irish golfer, young guy that could surprise. And would I be surprised if he got 11th or 12th at the Open this year? Honestly, it's not that crazy to think. He's a top 100 in the world. So McKibben is a scroll down guy and a guy that might be good at the Open. Royal Birkdale is right across from Northern Ireland geographically. So it's pretty much like his native environment to be playing golf. So the links golf on the coast, North England, Tom McKibben, a good scroll down pick.
I'm going to keep that. That is one that I have not taken yet. So I will keep that in mind. Steve says, Steve also fan of Theegala. He's not qualified. Isn't he only qualified for one? I would think. I love Theegala. Okay. Right now he's trending for PGA Championship and not in the other three. What are the chances of him getting the Masters if he finishes well this week? Does he have a chance?
It's not great.
Not looking good. Okay.
It's not great.
So you're a fan of Theegala, the golfer.
I like Theegala, the person and the golfer.
He was fun on watching on Full Swing too. Yeah. He's
had a tough year and a half. And so I'd have to pull up what I thought the odds were. Currently he's 80th in the world. Mm-hmm. I think he has to either win or get second to have any chance to get into the Masters. It's that close.
Okay. It says 80th in the world, and right now it looks like just trending PGA Championship.
There's a chance he can get into the Masters. It's pretty slim, but I'm cool waiting until we find out for sure before I start drafting him in this format. I don't think I've drafted him even once in the Albatross across my, I'm almost to 100 overall drafts in this format, and all things considered, all the different tournaments that are open. I'm close to 100. He's got a tough path. And so I've been he's been on my watch list though, because I've been waiting to see if he
made the cut this weekend. So we'll see.
He's number 11 right now. So it's not impossible that he could win this thing, but it's kind of threading the needle. And I'd rather just wait and see, and then hammer him in the last week of this tournament before it closes, if he's in the Masters and trending up for the rest of the season. Right now, he is a pretty big risk, and I don't know the reward is that great. But if this was Theegala 2 years ago, you'd be drafting him in the Albatross at like pick 20. So that's the how recently he's been a guy that was highly drafted.
No, and that's when I got into him too. I watched Full Swing, and a couple of years ago, he was really fun to watch. You could clearly tell. Good to see you, Cobra. That people know my obsession with drafting Aaron Rodgers late. So
isn't that funny that he's in this field? It's like
absolutely hysterical that he's in this field. So let's go over our team, and then let's get in one more. So we got Bryson, Colin Morikawa, got up, Brooks, English, Spieth, Berger, Hogard, Nick Taylor, Thorbjornsen, who you mentioned the last time, Grazerman, Jarvis. It feels good to me. I'm trying to mix up because I have gotten a couple other Bryson teams. Between this and the good tournament, I'll probably have like 30 to 40. And I want to mix up, like you said, the combos. So this is definitely a mix up of Bryson combos, and I like that. What do you think about this team?
This is a stat I'll throw out that's very relevant to this team. The golfers who are most likely to win a major have already won a major.
Yeah.
So it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Because how do you win your first major? But let's think back over last year. Last year we had Rory win the Masters, Scotty won the PGA, Spawn won the US Open. That was his first major.
That was his first, right?
Scotty won the Open. 3 of the 4 winners had already won majors, and a lot of majors, multiple time winners.
Yeah.
The year before, in 2024, we had Scotty win the Masters.
Mm-hmm.
We had
that was Schauffele's year, right?
We had Scotty win the Masters. We had Xander win the PGA.
Mm-hmm.
We had Bryson win the US Open. And we had Xander win the Open. So Xander was the guy who won his first major. But then by the time it was the Open, he'd already won one. So 3 out of the 4 had already won a major. And that just repeats itself over and over again. And so one thing I will never discount, draft golfers who have already won a major with a little bit of extra emphasis. So that brings me to guys like Rose. That's why I don't hate the Woodland pick when it comes very late and he's just starting to kind of show that. I know he's not in the Masters, so it's risky, but Woodland is one of my, there's guys, Adam Scott, that goes super late. Brian Harmon won the Open in the recently, and he is super discounted. And so,
and qualified for all four. Yeah, no, I think
Jason Day, Wyndham Clark is one of the exceptions. He's kind of a head case, and I think Wyndham Clark.
I didn't realize how much of a head case until last US Open.
I think it is possible Wyndham Clark wins another major in his career, but I think the odds are that would be it's not minus money; it'd be plus money. You'd be I don't think it's overwhelmingly likely. But the list kind of runs out, and then you have guys that are going either undrafted or that should not be drafted who have won majors, like Dustin Johnson. You should not be drafting him. Tiger Woods, do not do it. Lucas Glover, he was a fun pick. He won his, I swear it was a US Open, and maybe it was a PGA, but it was back in 2012 or 2009, US Open in 2009. I pulled it up. So Glover, though, that was almost 20 years ago. And I was drafting some Glover in previous seasons, but now it's kind of it's a little bit too late. But guys like Rose and Adam Scott, they've proven that they are still playing at a high degree. They're competitive.
Scott looks great this week. Yeah.
Scott's looking good. I'm not drafting Phil Mickelson. And that's kind of the end of the list of the winners. Gary Woodland is a guy I might throw in.
Of course, the great Jordan Spieth. I think Jordan Spieth is going to win on tour this year. Yeah. If it's a majors, that would be even better because I've drafted a crap ton of them. So, but because Spieth has 3 total, right?
He
because he only has 1 green jacket, and then
Spieth has 3. Yeah. Spieth has 3 total, and it's just
3 different ones. He hasn't duplicated any.
Exactly.
Yeah. So he says, my last Rory team started Rory, Cam Young. So for Cam Young to fall all the way back to a Rory is awesome. I like that Rory team more, but fun drafting teams as always. Absolutely. Let's get into one more. We can talk through stuff. Like you said, never know how long it takes. If anybody wants to join us, we are still waiting on 3. So are there any, we talked about Masters, good course fit, or, course fit, course history. You talked about, no, Justin Rose has a good course history there, but there was someone you were talking about that has crazy course history. It was the guy on Live, right? Patrick Reed, right?
Oh yeah. Patrick Reed.
So Patrick Reed, I mean, obviously Scotty is insane. Rory, Spieth, Rose, Reed. Are there any other ones later? Connors. Yes. Connors. Is there any other ones later that you
for Augusta?
Augusta. Yeah.
Yeah, Connors is of the later guys. Connors and Spieth are the best 2.
Yeah.
Jason Day got 8th at the Masters last year. Another name, and this is a player that I'm very exposed to. I'm weary of because of his fishing boat. But Cameron Smith in the last 5 years, 6th, 3rd, and 10th at Augusta. He just happened to get cut at Augusta last year. Kind of burned me. He also got cut at every major last year. So Cam Smith last year in the Albatross, I think he was a top 20 pick most of the year, and he got cut at every single major, and it just crushed anyone that drafted him. So but things change. Golf is hard year to year. Maybe he's and I don't think Cam Smith's done anything crazy on Live Tour right now. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jeff T in the chat, but I know Jeff T hates Cam Smith because of the whole fishing allegations. Not hates him.
The more fish you catch, the fewer fancy points you score. That's great.
Yeah, this is the problem with having $100 million in your bank account because you play for the Live Tour. Apparently, you just get soft and you're eating too much rare steak and sushi at night in beautiful Florida. You just get soft. But Sung J M, the injury concern that Sung J M came into this season with a wrist injury. We didn't know when he was going to officially start. He almost won last week. Yeah. And so Sung J M, he got 5th at the Masters last year. He got 8th 4 years ago. That is really good course history at the Masters for someone who goes around pick 50.
Yeah. No, that's another good point as well. And then I'm trying to think, I mean, Xander is another one that's played, if you're talking about the top guys.
Oh, Xander
and Bryson. I mean, pretty much everybody at the top in the first round is fine. Aberg, like you said, Oberg has played well his last 2 years, which is his only 2 years.
Exactly. Yeah, he's good there.
How did Cam Young and Fitzpatrick fare the last few years at the Masters?
Oh, Cam Young's incredible there. He has two
Okay.
top 10s in the last 5 years, 9th and 7th. He got
you got to hit these first couple rounds. It's just like NFL drafts. You got to hit, your first couple rounds. And so I was wondering their course history there.
And then Fitzpatrick's good enough. He got 10th 3 years ago. He has two top 25s, including that 10th. Or sorry, three top 25s, including that 10th in the last 5 years. He got 40th last year, which is, okay. Things happen year to year. Right. Where Fitzpatrick shows his strength is across all of the majors. He has had a top 10 at every major. The Masters is actually his weakest, and he has a top 10 there. And like I said, 3 out of the last 5 top 25s. He has an 8th and a 5th at the PGA in the last 5 years. He won the U.S. Open back when it was at Brookline at the Country Club in 2022. And he's got a 4th place finish at the Open last year. So Fitzpatrick is that guy who's already won a major, and he could potentially win any of them. Like, he is capable of winning any of the majors. He's not specific to any, like, oh, he's stronger here or there. Like, he's just good.
Yeah. If anybody wants to join us, we are waiting for 2 more now. But I am on the other page while you're talking about course history. I'm labeling these so I do not forget. So Candyman 327. And let me label the other one. I could jump in Discord or Pat's Discord to let them know, but we'll give it another minute. Let me label this other one. Steve mentioned we had talked about your guy, Corey Connors. He does have very good Masters history. I like Cooler's comment of, I mostly hate Cam Smith do that dreadful mullet. I was starting to take Wyndham Clark a lot. And then, last week and this week, both getting cut. He has a new caddy. I'm not sure how you feel about that. But Jeff says Cam Smith has appropriate ADP in the 40s. Wyndham Clark is a harder click for Cam Smith. I'm going to back off the Wyndham Clark. He is at least qualified for everything, but the last 2 weeks have not looked good. Any others? So that's kind of the Augusta course history, especially early guys. Let me ask you this question before we go to, again, any other Royal Birkdale course history or anything else of the other two. Sure. So young guys here, we got the young guns that are going fairly early, Chris Goddard and Jacob Bridgman. If you had all of the chips, if someone gave you $100 and said one of them wins a major this year and you have to bet which one, who would you bet?
I honestly, it's a great question because it's actually pretty close.
I thought it was a pretty good question too. And I actually would like to know, I don't know how I feel. Yeah.
I think, because Bridgman got his win at the Genesis. That is incredibly impressive. That is a hallmark course. And he did it, through he's good in all facets of his game, but his putting was very strong there. Yeah. And that's one of the reasons I'm in on Knapp, because Knapp's been killing it in his putting this year too. Yeah. Honestly though, if it comes down to Bridgman or Goddard, something tells me that Goddard just has this second gear that he can turn it on, and his mental fortitude is extremely strong. He's extremely resilient. And what he has shown,
2 wins already this season too.
2 wins this season. He won at the Phoenix Open when Hideki crumbled in the playoff, right? And so it was very close. He's gone head to head in a playoff with a guy like Hideki Matsuyama, one of the greatest golfers, not only in the world, but like has a green jacket. Like, Hideki is one of the greatest golfers of all time. Like, he's in the top 100 list. So like, to go up against a guy like that, Goddard's done it. He can go up against guys like Scheffler. So I think Goddard, to me,
you'd lean Goddard
slight edge. I want to see more from Bridgman. I'm very excited about Bridgman, but there's a reason why Goddard's going in the 3rd round right now. The market is not wrong. He's expensive, but to me, he's in the same tier as Oberg, and Oberg goes in the 1st or 2nd round. So like, is he that expensive?
Right. Yeah. No, that makes sense. My co-host on Fantasy Football Today, Sia Najad. I watch his
I
early
love
wedge.
Sia.
Sia's great. He loves Jacob Bridgman. And the one time he didn't have him on his outright card was the Genesis. That was so frustrating. But no, Sia's the GOAT. He's awesome and does a ton of great golf content. But Bridgman and Goddard, I've now that I have gotten a lot more into golf, I enjoy watching both of them. I would probably give the slightest of slight leans to Goddard up too, but gosh, I feel like it's close.
It's a great,
and I want to have exposure to both in this tournament, like you said.
No doubt.
Okay, looks like it is filled. Let's see here for our third and final of the night. Here we are at the turn, which will give us a little optionality, and we got Hartman in here. We got D Miller in here again. So appreciate you guys.
If you're not going to get Scotty, you might as well get to the turn. See if you get a value. Get two high-profile guys. I'm pretty not last season, but 2 years ago, I got 5th in the Albatross. And I had 3 teams in the final when the final was like 350 teams, and they all got top 100. I had one that was in the top of like 70, one that was in 25 or 30, and then one that got 5th. And my team that got 5th was I'm almost certain it was I picked 6th because I started with and I can pull the team up because I still have it screenshotted.
Wait, this was 5th last year in the Albatross?
2 years ago. I didn't do great last year. It was 2 years ago. I had to find it. I don't know where.
That's amazing. Yeah, Sia has had some amazing, both outright and he crushes the first round leader. He got Smotherman a couple weeks ago. If I had to major first time winner after ADP, I'd vote for Knapp. Says Jeff, and Coolers agree. I forgot to bring up Knapp. That he is a third one that young gun could get his first major in the next year or two. So that makes sense. But yeah, I kind of like you said, if you're not first or second, getting Rory or Bryson, which do we know anything on Rory's back injury? Has there been anything reported?
I have not heard recent news on him. I'm assuming he's fine. That is a good reminder. Wanted to finish that thought. The team that I got 5th place with in 2024 was a Bryson DeChambeau, Xander Schauffele start.
Okay. Oh my God. So you got 3 of the major winners. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Because you have to have that. You have to have that. I was in second.
So we are on the clock. I actually don't like Tommy the most, but who do you prefer?
I don't mind getting exposure to Tommy when it falls to us in the 6th like this, because he was going at 3rd overall for a lot of the tournament. So I'm cool with Tommy, and then I do like Cam Young. Yeah.
That's why I wanted Cam Young. So you're fine with Tommy, Cam Young.
Yeah. This is fine. This is totally fine.
Okay.
Neither one of them has won a major, but these are 2 of the guys that are, very competitive. And I'm a slight fade on Tommy Fleetwood. I don't mind getting him at the 6th. But I want to read you this lineup for my 2024
let me hear.
team, and think about like where these players go now, and they would have gone pretty high then too. So Xander Schauffele, DeChambeau, Colin Morikawa, Hideki Matsuyama, Justin Rose, Russell Henley, Sam Burns, Siwoo Kim, Gary Woodland, and Matthew Pavon was the last pick.
Okay.
He was doing pretty good that year. It was a 10 team because it used to be 10 instead of 12. Okay. And so it was really hard to make all the cuts.
Geez, that is really hard to make all the cuts then, especially the later ones, not even potentially all qualified. That's insane. Wow. Congratulations. 5th place, Scott. That would be amazing.
It was fun. I woke up on Sunday. I was in 2nd, and I did the math, and I thought I had the 1st place team covered and the 3rd place team. The teams that ended up beating me came from all the way 20 and below on the last, or it might have been Saturday that I was in 2nd, but whatever it was, it was the very end. And I thought I had teams covered, but teams come out of nowhere and surge up the board. A lot can change. But it was super fun to sweat it out. And, but I was thinking to myself, so this team that I drafted, I don't think you could even draft these players in a single team in this current year. Like, it's not, you couldn't.
No, I was going to say that would be absolutely impossible. Yeah.
It would be pretty close to impossible to get like this combination. You might be able to do it, but there's a little bit of too much overlap with like where Colin goes now, where Henley goes now.
We're on the clock. We don't have Patrick Reed yet, and we've talked about him a lot. I say we take him, and then what do you want to do?
Oh yeah, this is a great spot. Okay, because we have back-to-back picks. I was looking at it. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm cool. Let's go ahead and take Patrick Reed. I want exposure Patrick Reed, and then let's do Goddard up. I mean, it's so hard to
Let's
not
do an
do
I
Goddard
love
up.
it. We were just talking about
I know.
because Knapp went. I think I had Knapp in there too. Oh, well, Bridgman's a little bit later. Okay, so we'll take Reed and Goddard up.
So I have like Akshay in that tier with Bridgman and Goddard being very similar. I like getting exposure to Akshay in the 3rd or 4th round. I'll mix them in, but it's hard for me to pass up on Reed. It's hard for me to pass up on Goddard.
When we didn't get Reed in either the other one, and we talked about him a lot. So I was like, let's definitely get Patrick Reed. And I really liked starting, Fleetwood, Cam Young, Reed, Goddard. That feels like a lot of, like you said, between major potential, ceiling potential, which is how you should feel about your first 4 rounds, obviously. I really, really like that a lot. Yeah, I thought Knapp was coming up, but I think Bridgman goes here. And then
Knapp is still available. He usually goes around pick 30 or so.
Okay, yeah, he's 30. He's a little later.
So we should have a chance at him. I also find, this to me is the hardest range. It's the 3rd and 4th round. There are so many talented players. There's so many good picks. You almost can't go wrong. So I just try to vary it up a little bit and not to be overexposed to guys in the 3rd and 4th in kind of the beginning of the 5th round, because it is going to be 2 or 3 guys in this range of 10 picks that will really be necessary to have.
Yeah.
Like if we expect that the 1st and 2nd round picks are the guys who win all the majors, but then it's the guys in like the 3rd through like the 5th rounds that place highly consistently in the majors that fill out your fantasy points. I don't know who it's going to be, but it is super top heavy in this. Like once we get
give me that dub lurking here and stealing Spieth from us early. I'm just kidding.
Did Spieth go?
Yeah. Okay, so we are back on the clock. Sorry, and then I will get to the comments. We talked about English last time. You talked about Minwoo. We've talked about Corey Connors. Our guy Spieth is gone. I'm not a Hatton girl.
No, we don't have to take Hatton. I just want to get your opinion. I like English and Connors, or do we want to swing for a big upside with Minwoo? I think the safe way to go is English and Connors. But the risk might be going Minwoo, and maybe he can do something.
I'm fine with either. I mean, I probably like Corey Connors better, but like
he's been giving off some good Connors vibes, and I really like Connors.
Let's do Connors for Steve. And like you said, he got great Master Augusta course history too. You can't, as we talk about everything in best ball, you can't make the finals if you don't get past round 1. And Augusta in a couple weeks is round 1. So I kind of like that.
The thing about Connors too is he's always been kind of going in this range the entire draft while it's been open. Minwoo Lee used to be a 50 pick, 55 pick, and I had like 25% Minwoo Lee when he was in that range. I'm not saying like ADP doesn't really matter so much in this contest, but there are going to be a lot of teams that have Minwoo
with combos
with one of their last 6 picks, not one of their first 6 picks.
Yeah, I probably won't have much Minwoo, so I'm kind of hoping he's not the one you need or anything like that. Jeff says, if you want major winners, we talked about both Wyndham Clark and Cam Smith, which I've taken a lot of both, and they do go late enough that like, even if they're just making cuts.
They go late enough.
Yeah. So, but Hartman and Jeff are giving us a hard time passing on. I don't know if this is a bit or if they're being serious, but it's a bit. Okay. Passing at Ludwig, the hate has gone too far. Lawsuit filed. You're like, it's a bit. I know these guys.
Back in the scramble drafts, Jeff T would always joke about drafting Peter Malnati a lot. And it's just kind of a funny thing because Malnati somehow won the Valspar 2 years ago.
That's right. Okay. When I was doing research last week, I remember that. Okay. So we're up at 42 and 43 in this range. I don't think we took Norin yet. We just
good pick. Norin's a good pick.
I think he's all 4, I believe.
Yeah, he's in all 4. He's like number 25 or 28 in the world right now. He'll be in all 4. He's been playing for a long time.
Where do you want to go with the second pick? We've taken Gerard. We've taken Keegan. Do you want to go Kitayama? We've taken Nikolai. Oh, Harmon. Let's pull up Harmon. We didn't get Harmon.
We can pull up Harmon. If we've already taken Gerard and Bradley and Højgaard, I think we bring up Harmon here.
I think we bring up Harmon because we have taken all the other ones, and we've talked a lot about Patrick Reed. We've talked a lot about Harmon. Talked a lot about Corey Connors. So it's kind of good to get these guys that we weren't able to access on some of the other drafts.
You know, it's funny.
Like you said, it's all about kind of getting these combos of guys you're really in on.
Yes. Yeah, it is good to get different combos. With Noren, I was mentioning how it was at I think it was at Birkdale. I had to pull it up. Noren had done well at Birkdale, and so back when Spieth won it, I'm pulling that up now just to confirm that.
Okay.
So I'm not crossing my wire. Yeah, Noren got 6th.
Oh wow!
At Birkdale, Noren got 6th. So like he could do well there. He could be a ringer. He could be a guy at the Open that is like finishes a top 10 again and like pays off a ton in this range.
Yeah.
The funny thing, I think it was like the PGA Twitter account. They posted like the top 5 strongest guys on the PGA Tour based on their maximum bench press rep that they publicly reported. Number 2 was Alex Noren at 285 pounds, which is a lot. I mean, that's way more than I can bench. So like Noren is jacked. That's kind of fun.
That's funny. I would have had no idea about that stat. That's pretty funny.
Number 1 is Brooks Koepka. He says his max is 315.
That does not.
Which is 315 is a ton. That's really heavy. Knapp was up there. Knapp was like, I think. Oh, really? Let's just say 265 or something. But like, it was just funny because I was like, it's such a random stat. But everyone in golf just loves to know numbers and how golfers compare to each other.
Yeah. Okay. So now we're to the range here at 9-10. Penge, back to Nick Taylor, Novak, Thorbjornsen, Stevens. We know we've taken some of these guys, but what are you thinking?
We haven't taken Marco yet, and I do like to sprinkle him in. He's an interesting one.
He is qualified for all but PGA right now. So
and he'll get in the PGA for sure. He's number 36 in the world, and by the time that comes around, he'll be top 100 in the world. So
did we take Sam Stevens yet? Or do you want to go Thorpe again?
Let's go Sam Stevens. I think. I don't think this is too early to bring him up.
Okay, I like that.
Sam Stevens is actually him and Cam Smith and Brian Harmon are my most drafted players, and Matt McCarty.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense. Because Stevens is he qualified for all 4?
He's on track, so he's number 50 in the world right now. He's guaranteed to be in the Masters. If he can stay top 50, he'll get into all the other events.
Nice.
He was higher. I think he was like number, let's just say like the low 40s in OWGR for a while there to start the season. And he was going in the last round of these drafts or second to last round. So I was getting him in every single draft. Same thing with McCarty. McCarty's just scaring me now that he's injured and he pulled out of the Texas Children's. Yeah,
I agree. Keegan hasn't looked that great. I've basically been watching since the Super Bowl, and it hasn't been that great. He says, I heard a story about Phil Mickelson in his prime looked like an NFL linebacker. He was ripped, but you couldn't tell because he wore baggy shorts.
It was all in the calves. Phil Mickelson's known for his
That's right. Calves. I have seen him do stuff on Twitter, like little golf lessons, and you're right. His calves are like, you can tell. All right, so we're down to our last 2 picks here at 66, 67. This team looking strong. I agree with you. I don't mind the turn because you can kind of do a lot of different combinations here. So I don't mind that at all.
Yeah.
And then we'll go over all the teams.
I think it's the predictability of like planning out 2 picks and getting the double. Like I do think that getting 2 picks in rapid succession in the first and second round has a lot of value. You can get a few different combinations there. But to me, it might be even a little bit stronger than picking from like the 3 or the 4 spot.
Yeah. And like you said, worked for you 2 years ago too. So that's always nice when you have a little bit.
Yeah. Happened to get lucky that Xander was the guy you had to have in the Open. So
we could just sweep it with Haotong Li here. I mean, I do like that he's in all 4 in his course history at Royal Birkdale.
So he's not currly in the US Open, but he could get into it. But like his course history is so good and he is just
3 out of 4,
a pretty fun pick. We could do, and so this is our 12th pick, right?
So, So we're
who are you interested in? Who have we not taken yet that you might be interested in? We've talked about some names like Kiefer.
We talked about Kiefer, and we haven't taken him yet. Is Jordan Smith? He looked good last week, but is he qualified for
I'll pull it up real quick. He's a risky one. He's going to be in the Open, but he's not guaranteed to be in anything else except for maybe on track for the PGA. He's done okay at the Open.
I mean, if you are interested in Potgieter, I haven't taken him yet.
Kind of fun. Potgieter is a kind of a fun pick.
Keith Mitchell, he's not qualified, is he?
Keith Mitchell, no, unfortunately, I don't think.
Yeah, no, it doesn't look.
Is going to be in any major this year. Maybe not even the PGA.
Yeah. Okay. So, and you talked about Cantor, right?
Yeah, Cantor. He's been a guy. I think he's acceptable. He's guaranteed
10 seconds between these three. I'll let you pick.
Let's go Potgieter. Potgieter's the most interesting to me. He, to me, is a big risk, big reward play. He's going to be in the Masters and the PGA, and then maybe things can quick. Like, he's 77 in the world right now. He only has to be top 60 for the U.S. Open and then be top 50 for the Open. But if he's going to be in the Masters and the PGA and does well enough there that he's hitting our fantasy lineup, he might be also increasing his OWGR enough to get into the other events. He's 40th in the FedEx Cup rank. So, like, he got 5th at the Genesis. He won last year. It was the Rocket Classic, which is no longer in like the lineup in the normal season, but at Detroit Golf Club, pretty decent field. You know, he beat out Thor Bjornsson, Knapp, Echeverria, Colin Morikawa, Fitzpatrick. So he has Scotty was not in that field, but he's played with some heavy hitters. Potgieter's very interesting. He's 21 years old too.
Hartman was asking for a deep scroll down, and it said
Dietrich's interesting.
Okay, and then you mentioned Casey Jarvis, who you talked about the last one. And Cobra, people are giving me a hard time with the Steelers. I love my Pat Fryermuth too. Is he in the field too?
I would be surprised. I wonder if Travis. Let's see. Can we still look? Is Travis Kelce in the field?
No, not so. Kelce is they're probably giving me. I still think it's hysterical that. No, Fryermuth's not in the field. Just good old Aaron Rodgers. I spelled his name wrong. Unreal. Absolutely hysterical. Okay, let's check out these teams here. Let's see. D. Miller goes Rory, Colin, Victor, JT, Burns, Minwoo, Knapp, Gerard, Nikolai Hogard, Nick Taylor, Novak, and Valimaki. Seems strong. It was a lot of guys that we've been talking about. And then getting Rory at 3 is kind of nice too. What do you think about his team?
Yeah, very strong. I drafted a ton of Sami Valimaki earlier. He was in the top 50 OWGR. He fell out of it kind of recently. So he was qualified for all 4 majors as of last month. Now he's only he's guaranteed to be in the Masters and the PGA. He's on track for the U.S. Open, but he could fall out of that too. He'd fallen out of the being qualified for the Open. The problem with Valimaki is his value lied in the fact that he was going to play in all of the majors. He has terrible history at the majors. He's only ever been cut at a major. Like he's never finished like in top 25 or anything. Okay. So I have a lot of exposure to him. I think he's still a fine late last round pick. I've just been more cautious about him lately, but this is a very strong team.
I like that team. I like that team a lot. And thank you for joining us for all 3 drafts. That was awesome. Then we got Hartman here at the 4 spot, Bryson, Fitzpatrick, Rose, Batia, Ben Griffin, Adam Scott, JJ Spahn, Keegan Bradley, Echeverria, Thor Bjornsson, Grazerman, and Jarvis, who we took last draft and who Jeff did mention. It seems like a fun combination to me. Any thoughts for Hartman's team?
Do you notice what his team is missing?
Jordan Spieth. I mean, I think that's missing. Oberg.
No Oberg. The team is dead.
Yeah. No Oberg. Cupcake sniped him though. No Oberg. Exactly.
To me, it's like I have some exposure to Oberg. I'd be lying if I said I didn't take him to sprinkle him in because I don't want to be burned. If you have to have him, like I don't want to be burned. But if I got to set ADP, if I was in control of the rankings that mattered, because rankings don't actually matter when the market is telling you what matters, right? Like Oberg goes at the 1-2 turn. He's been there the whole contest. That if you want him, you have to take him there. If I got to choose, I would probably have him going at the 3-4 turn. And that would be like as high as I would take him. But I'll take
even
him ahead.
Even with his good Masters course history?
Yeah, I mean, all of these other guys that go like in the range between him and like Cantlay, like even Cantlay is a better pick than him, like straight up. Cantlay is good.
Oh,
He's been good. I know it's tough. I know Cantlay's been really good at the majors over the years. He's so when Xander Schauffele won his 2 majors in 2024, his ADP was the same as Cantlay's, and the question between everyone was asking was who gets the major first, Xander or Cantlay?
And he got 2 that year. Yeah.
And Xander got 2, and Cantlay hasn't. I don't think he's won on the PGA Tour since. But
yeah. No.
But you know,
I think that's
over the last 2 years they call him Patrick Can't Play.
Can't play. Don't they call him slow play too? With the
He's a slow play guy. Yeah, that's for sure.
But I think this is a fun team, Hartman. I like it. And thank you guys for joining us in this draft. So our team, Candyman, our third team ended up Fleetwood, Cam Young, Patrick Reed, who we talked a lot about, Goddard, English, Connors, Steve's Guy, Noren, Harmon, who we talked a lot about, Penge, Stevens, Haotong Lee, and Pot Geeter. I like this team. And that's what's fun. We kind of got 3 different spots and got 3 very different teams, but I like it. What are your thoughts on from top to bottom?
We have some major winners. We've got, Reed and Harmon. We have guys that are both strong at the Masters and strong at the Open, strong at the Open, like Noren, Harmon. We have some Englishmen like Penge, that might play into it, might help to have a guy, over there. We have Haotong Lee, who's been strong at the Open. I think this is a very unique team. I don't think there's only going to be 30,000 teams drafted. There will be some teams. I have to look more into like the math of like what are the odds that any one given team gets duped. If we just did a quick thought experiment and thought, okay, if you drafted ADP and you drafted a normal team at a normal spot in this tournament's Open, maybe you get duped like somewhere between maybe 5 times, maybe 10 times at max. And that would be that's probably way too many. It's probably closer to 5. You have to win out of your pods. So then you're not going to face, when there's a 200 person final, you are not going to face any dupe teams. It'll be all unique teams.
Yeah, that's true.
All that to say, this team is unique. I have not seen a team that looks something like this one. This is a unique combination. I'd be very surprised if anyone else has drafted these exact players in this tournament so far.
Yeah, I know. I really do like this team a lot. I definitely haven't gotten that combination of the first 3 or 4, at the turn there. So no, I like this team a lot. And as you can see, I just pulled it up. I have labeled all 3: Candyman Part 1, Part 2, Part 3. And yeah, I've done some of the good Open. That's filling quicker, obviously. So yeah, I want to do a lot here in the next couple of weeks. So this was a super helpful thought experiment and picking your brain and the chat's brain and, them giving me a hard time about Steelers or Cam. I still got Cam in there. It's not Scattaboo. So yeah, I absolutely loved talking with you. Love talking with the chat. What do you got coming up on your channel in the coming weeks? I'm sure you're going to be doing some more albatrosses yourself.
Most definitely. Thanks so much for having me on. Always a pleasure to be here with the Fanspeak Network and with yourself. We always have a ton of fun drafting, and I think we got some good teams in there. So hopefully we get some good news, coming up in a few months with the results, and we'll be tracking those for sure. I'm doing PGA Best Ball content every Tuesday on my channel. I'm going to continue to draft the Battle Royales, the weekly Underdog Opens, as we continue into the PGA season. The Albatross is only going to be open for the next 2 weeks.
Right.
I am going to cram in some more Albatross streams until I can't. So I'll do my normally scheduled Tuesday Albatross and Underdog Opens. I have Byron Lindeque coming on the channel next week as a guest.
Nice. That's awesome.
From Back 9 Bets, the Mayo Media Network. He's a super fun, super sharp guy.
Yeah.
In PGA fantasy and betting space. And so he and I are going to draft. We'll probably do a bunch of Albatross next Tuesday.
Nice.
And then I might just do some more pop-up PGA Albatross specific streams the week leading up to the close of the Masters, because I think there'll be a lot of excitement around it. I think I want to get in more some teams, live and talk more about it and all of the last kind of movement. But other than that, yeah, I'm doing NFL Best Ball 3 or 4 nights a week, Spindles and I typically do our Monday ballsy show.
Nice. Yeah.
And then I go live a couple other nights a week. I usually put it out on my YouTube and things like that. And so I'm excited. It's almost the NFL draft, and I've been drafting a bunch of big boards and just super excited for that, NFL season as well.
Yeah, whether you're watching this live or on replay, you probably are already following Fantasy Football Garage. But if you're not, for some reason, link is in the description. And there's a pretty trophy behind you that is the Best Ball Jeopardy trophy. I just want to let people know this is your first annual winner here. You're looking at him. Candyman was the first annual winner of the Best Ball Jeopardy. That's right. That's a beautiful trophy. It's just like these guys holding up that Masters thing and the Open and kissing it. It looks just the same. It looks just the same. So you're going to defend your title this spring. And so it will start in May. Run all summer. We're going to have a bigger tournament this year that you'll have to defend your title against Candyman. And the details will probably come right around. Hopefully we do a 24-hour live stream in May, and hopefully it'll kind of kick off then. But I can't wait to watch you try to defend your title and someone try to take you down on bye week math. I mean, good luck.
They can try.
They could try. I mean, PBR Tyler, I know this is the second time we talked about him, talked so much shit to you, and then you just
bam. Pulverized him, smashed, took him to school.
He actually did like one of those things where he did like a clip and did like the 10 minutes later. And it was absolutely, he was like, Meg, how many points do I have? Do I have any points? It was hysterical.
That was a funny clip. Yeah. Well, Meg, we'll see what our schedules look like, but I would love to have you on my channel as well to do maybe some last minute albatross. We'll see if we can coordinate it.
Yeah.
And we'll definitely be doing some more NFL drafts as we get into this season. So
I think we're in sync here. We made the NFL playoffs in BBM. I think we're going to make the playoffs here in Albatross. I'd love to come on your channel for both Albatross and NFL drafts. So there we go. We got it all synced up, folks. So
we'll make it happen.
Absolutely. We appreciate you guys watching. We'll have our Fanspeak fam YouTube members show Sunday night. So check that out. And then of course, back for a bunch more content next week, more articles this week on Substack. Check it all out. Have a great weekend. We appreciate you. For Candyman, I'm Meg, and we'll see you next time.